Let's take the sales data 2013 file with charts, which has charts in the sales summary sheet, January sheet, the February sheet, March, the April, but not the May. And in the May, I would like to look at exploring pie charts because they differ from the other charts. All the other charts can graph multiple series of data in one place, be it bars, columns, areas, or lines. The pie chart, however, can only graph one series at a time. So it could graph all the sales for the north, split up by cars, planes, and bikes sold, or it could graph all the cars sold, split up by north, south, east, and west. But it couldn't graph all of that information in one pie chart. So how do we deal with pie charts? They're ideal for displaying single series of data. So I could take north, south, east, and west, and the fourth set of sales, which is our cars sold, and create a pie chart. So I go to Insert, Recommended Charts. Let's see what it recommends. One of its recommendations is a pie chart. North, south, east, and west. I quite like that, so we'll take its recommendation. And we can move the pie chart into place. Now on the Chart Tools design, there are different design options here, and you can see as we move through them, it takes your pie chart with the same sizes of slice, but gives us different styles. These styles here, for example, show you percentages of each slice. And that one there does as well, but in more color. And we've got a black on white one. Let's go for a fairly plainish one and look at changing the chart type. So I'm not interested in changing the type, but actually the subtype of pie chart. So we've got pie of a pie, which will break down one of the slices into another pie. We have bar of a pie, and we have donut, which is effectively a donut sliced into pieces as opposed to a pie sliced into pieces. Let's go with the 3D option. So with our 3D pie in place, what we can do with the chart styles is choose a more prominent 3D option, which is that one there. Onto the chart, I want to adjust the chart title. Change that to cars sold. And then within the chart itself, if I go to Format, I can color in the pie slices. So I can select a single slice. Now you have to be a little bit careful with the pie chart that you are selecting a single slice. You can see there that a single click has actually picked up 3 slices. So I need to click again to make sure I only pick up the 1 slice. And then I can change that to a different color. Let's go for a slight green. That one there, red. And that one there, bluey. And this one here, an orangey color. Now the one thing I do like about slices is if I select a slice here, I can actually grab and drag that away from the rest of the pie. It's a bit more prominent, it sticks out. Another little option for pie charts is to go into the plus, choose data labels, but not just to activate the data labels, but in the little pop out, I can come down to more options, and that opens this dialog box on the right here, where instead of the value, which is currently displaying as 457, I could ask to show the percentage. And you see it then shows me as 19%. So the blue slice, let's just move that over slightly, which is the south, represents 19% of the total pie value. So the total car sold in this case. If I grab this little text box that has the 19% in it and move it just outside of the slice, you see I get a little arrow that points to that slice. That's caused by this option here, Show Leader Lines. And because I've clicked on this slice and dragged it away, that's the only one that's been affected. So I actually need all of them to have their data labels. So I go back to plus, data labels, in the little pop out, more options. On the more options, I'm interested in the label options, and I come down to percentage. And this time they all have little percentages on them. I could also perhaps ask for the series name or the category name. Category name is best. And that way I get the category label as well as the percentage for each slice. Just going to drag them away slightly to cause those arrows to appear. And because I've got the labels within each of these tags, I don't need the legend. So let's close this format data label away. And on the plus, take the tick out of legend. And that just gives the graph a little bit more area to grow into. So you can see there are a lot of formatting options with a pie chart to make them look quite good. Now, although the pie chart can only display one series, There's nothing to stop you having a number of pie charts. If I make this a lot smaller, that's my cars sold, but I could create a pie chart for cars, planes and bikes and sit them all next to each other. Let's just reduce the font size of cars sold. So we select the title, go to home and drop the font size down. So I select the chart object, making sure I click near the border and copy that. And then let's go below and paste. We'll place that just to the right there. And then come and paste again. And let's place that. Now at the moment, they're exact replicas of each other, and they're all showing the car sold data. But if I click into this chart, go to Chart Tools, Design, and select Data, you can see that it has highlighted the north, south, east and west and the cars sold. So I would like to edit the series. And instead of picking up B3 to B6, I would like it to pick up C3 to C6. Okay. And you can see the chart has adjusted itself to now show the values for planes sold. Click on cars sold, which is the one underneath, and this is going to be the bikes. Now instead of going to select the data, what we can do is just effectively move that blue area across to look at the bikes sold, and you can see it adjusts itself. Now one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't manually change the chart labels, so I need to do that myself. That becomes the bikes sold. And that becomes the planes sold. And the other thing it's forgotten is which slice to stick out. So I need to do that. Let's do the same one. So the bluey one gets to be stuck out. And then the data labels again. Let's tell it to use the percentage and the category name. Data labels. More options, label options. So I want the percentage and the category name. So they all now have that on, and the same for the planes sold. So let's close that. So planes sold plus data labels in the little pop out, more options. And again, I would like the percentage, not the value, and the category name. Close that dialog box, and I have 3 pie charts that look at separately the first, the second and the third series, so the car sold, the plane sold and the bike sold, and they look beautiful and they look customized. But it's just that caveat that each pie chart can only look at a single series at one time.